have to really keep my yoga skills intact here. Hold on a second, guys. Let's turn up the volume as far as the brightness. Okay, and turn down that fan. Cha-cha-cha. There we go. All right, guys. As we dive into the video, I wanted to share that I run a website called bloggingfromparadise.com. Ooh, cool. I am the creator and owner of bloggingfromparadise.com. And I sell blogging courses and blogging ebooks through my blog. It's to guide you on your blogging journey. So if you need help, these could be valuable resources to baby step you through the process of succeeding as a blogger. And really, that's what we're all after, because we want the fun and the freedom and the joy of blogging. And even if you don't want to go pro, they could be really helpful to get down the straight and narrow so you know what you're doing works. And I publish blogging tips there too. Not daily these days. Pulled back my publishing schedule, but I have hundreds of helpful blogging posts where you could use the search bar on the side if I'm thinking as far as your lappy, or down low on your phone. All right, guys. How to go from full-time employee to professional blogger. I published a post on Blogging Paradise a while back, and I update these posts from time to time and re-promote them. Successful blogging tip to help you with my old content that is not really old, but new and refreshed. So it's all timely and relevant. Make it as evergreen as possible, or just flat out evergreen. So guys, this process of going from employee to full-time blogger, a lot of bloggers want to do it to live their dreams. You know, maybe your job is something that's okay, but you're doing it mainly for money. Maybe it feels depressing to work it mainly for money. Or you've just reached a point in your life where you like your job and you like your niche, but you want more freedom. You want to call the shots. You want to be the boss. You want to spend time at home with your kids. Circle the globe like my wife Kelly and I do. And it becomes a decision. Okay, I'm ready to go from being a full-time blogger to full-time entrepreneur, full-time employee to full-time entrepreneur blogger. So you want to go from working a job to being a professional blogger. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of freedom. Yes, of course, it's challenging at times. It could be uncomfortable, but so is any decision to be free and to have peace and to have fun and to engineer your life by design. That's kind of what we want to do here on planet Earth, guys. We don't really want to do it in reverse with the whole victim mentality thing and fear and all that stuff, which can be uncomfortable to get through. But again, if you plan to be around, choose freedom. That's my mentality. Low coffee. So let's dive into the steps, guys. Ooh, this is precariously balanced. Number one, let's go through a primer here. Cut the strings or remain employed. You really want to figure out, guys, if where you're currently at on your journey, you're working a full-time job, you're a full-time employee, you want to become a professional blogger. Awesome. The first step is to decide based on how much money you have saved up. Can you leave your job right now and begin blogging professionally? Or I should say, begin laying the foundation for a professional blogging career, or do you need to keep your job? And in most cases, guys, you're gonna need to keep your job. Only because you'll need the money flowing to you through your full-time job to pay bills, cover expenses, to live comfortably, to build your savings, and to be sane, because it takes a long time to study how to be a professional blogger, learn how to be a professional blogger and study, then to patiently practice blogging, to create detailed content, to build strong connections through blogger outreach, and to monetize your blog effectively, then to start making some money, then to become a full-time blogger, to reach that income level where like, okay, my blogging takes care of my bills and boosts my savings and does all that other jazz. It takes a long time, but who cares, because you're going to be around a long time, or you plan to be around a long time. So the only sane choice is to do what frees you. Start thinking like that, guys. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be around, or I plan to be around for a while. So why don't I do what frees me? However, with this concept in mind, the first step in this journey is saying to yourself, all right, do I have a large amount of money saved up so I can comfortably and peacefully live off of it, pay my bills, boost my savings, boosting your savings, but I don't know if you have investments. Can I live comfortably and start blogging professionally from the right mindset? We're going to go to the fan again because I am hot over here. So in most cases, guys, don't leave your job, because it takes a number of years to start making money and then to become a full-time professional blogger in terms of earning an income through blogging. And it just does. It takes a long time because it takes a lot of practice. So in most cases, keep your job, guys, and start building a foundation for your full-time blogging career, slowly, patiently, calmly, from a relaxed, peaceful state of mind. Now, what is the first mistake that most bloggers make in trying to make this transition? They quit their job with the unrealistic, completely deluded expectation that they work really hard, really fast, brutally pushing their way through, willing their way through the blogging process with shortcuts and all this insane states of mind, that they will force a full-time income through their blog quickly. This is a massive, delusional, huge mistake. You're watching this broadcast, or if you're watching it in the future on the replay, don't do it. The problem with this, the fundamental problem, is when you quit your job without having much money saved up, you will build your entire blogging campaign on fear, the fear of poverty, the fear of scarcity, the fear of running out, the fear of dying, the fear of not having food, the fear of just this terror will dominate your campaign, and you will make the specific injurious, damaging mistakes that put you back years. So forget about blogging patiently from a peaceful energy where it's going to take a number of years to develop a full-time income. You have to set really strong, rock solid foundation. You won't only have to work those years, you'll have to work the extra years of all those mistakes you're making by taking shortcuts and forcing things and looking for quick payday. Absolutely don't do it, guys. Don't make this mistake. Keep the job, or work a different job if you hate it. Find one you enjoy working a little bit more, and you will be in the proper frame of mind, because you have to blog in order to build patiently a granite-like foundation. You have to blog from a peaceful state of mind, from a relaxed state of mind, from a trusting state of mind where you trust in yourself and in the blogging process, because it takes a long time for any traffic or money to come in. Because it takes a lot of practice before the traffic and money come in. So if it takes a lot of practice, it takes a long time. It's reality. Accept it, and you're in the perfect space to do things from a calm, peaceful, relaxing energy. Of course, almost all bloggers make the mistake of not doing that, and that's why almost every blogger fails. But I'm sharing with you now. Now you know, guys. Like, okay, boom, it's in my mind. Ryan, the Blogging Paradise guy. He's explaining in vivid detail, you have to have a peaceful state of mind in the beginning. So you just relax, lay your foundation. You're not attached to the outcomes. You fall in love with the process of helping people, and you're good to go. Now, the second step, I say, is this a family deal or a solo act? If you appear to be supporting a family in the world, keep your job. unless, again, you have a lot of money stashed away. So for a number of years, comfortably, peacefully pay your bills, support your family. Okay. Very rare. Most people do not have that much money saved up. So just keep your job. Simple as that. If you're single, quitting your job could be a little more viable, because if you're a solo act and you are not so much fearless, but you have a fearlessness to you, you really trust in yourself, and you appear to only be supporting yourself, and you have a high tolerance for facing fear and doing uncomfortable things, then if you have maybe not a whole bunch of money saved up, but a decent amount, you won't, if you quit your job, you won't have as many deep terror infused, horrifying fears in your mind concerning, oh my God, if this doesn't work. So long and the short of it, you probably shouldn't quit your job, but at least you'll be calling the shots. It's you. You could probably dive into this gig with less money saved up, and you still have to be patient and peaceful and calm. So if you're single and you don't feel like you could have that state of mind unless you keep your job, just keep your job. But if you're really, you have a great fearless streak predominantly, and you could face fear and you live simply and humbly, then you can maintain that peace of mind as you calmly keep paying your bills and keep creating helpful content, learning how to blog, connecting. Yet you're going to be spending not all of your time, but just the lion's share of your day sticking to these simple fundamental strategies and working intelligently, generously, peacefully, but you're going to be committing. You're going to be giving your time to it, like really giving your time for the freedom. Sorry, June. Dog here. I'm going to call her dog cat. She's a dog cat. That's why I call her dog. Sorry, June. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to a cat that's here. Number 3. How much do you have saved? $1,000. We're all in different stages. 10,000, 100,000. So think about the amount of money you have saved and how long you could live off that money, as far as paying your bills, food, shelter, rent, car payments, enjoying time offline, whatever. How long can you live off that? 2 years, 3 years without any other money coming in? Because typically a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, if you're committing fully to blogging the right way from a peaceful energy, that's typically how long it's going to take. So if you have that, then you could probably quit your job, enough money for 2.5, 3 years. When you're committing fully, you could probably quit your job because you'll know it's covered and you could relax and blog peacefully and patiently and trust and not force things. If not, keep your job. I went more into this, and I guess this is why it's ranks number 1 on Google, right? How to go from full-time employee to pro blogger. It's been number 1 on Google for a long time. Blog for a serious hobby. What this means, guys, step number 4. It's a hobby in that you're doing it mainly for the love of helping people, for the fun of exploring your niche, to be truly helpful, to publish detailed content that helps people to be detailed oriented, drill down in depth, to target everything. So it feels like a hobby in that you're doing it for the love of blogging, almost predominantly, almost across the board. But when I say serious, I mean you have that peaceful, relaxed, joyous state of mind. Serious means every day for a number of hours. So if you're keeping your full-time job to keep the money flowing in every night, 1, 2, 3 hours, that's it, because you're serious about it. You're fully committed. Yet it's a hobby, so you're doing it for fun. This may take some mental gymnastics because most people in life make the mistake of taking something seriously and not treating it like a hobby, which means their mind's coming from fear, scarcity, poverty, not abundance and trust, but fear, desperation, greed, and they muck it up, they screw up, fail and quit and give up. Or from the same fear, they don't take it seriously. So they work so hard from fear and they fail and quit every day and they put in time and they burn out, or they treat it without any commitment or seriousness. So they'll spend 5 minutes reading the ebook they just bought or taking the course for 5 minutes. And then since they don't treat blogging seriously, they'll put the ebook away and go watch TV, watch a sports game or whatever, streaming. And then they'll come back to the course next month. I see it. I've been doing this for 15 years, guys. I see it all the time. I've experienced it myself. So blog for a serious hobby means remember why you're blogging so you take it seriously. Commit to your freedom and fun and joy and passion. Yet blog mainly for the fun and the joy of helping people. This is the only way that you set a really strong foundation for monetizing, because you'll keep at it and you won't burn out. You'll be blogging for hours a day, even while you're working a full-time job. Or if you only have an hour a night where you're just like, I absolutely can't do more, you'll be following the fundamentals for an hour that night. Then on the weekends, you'll be like, okay, it's 3 to 4 hours every Saturday and Sunday. There's no other way. It's just how it has to be. And of course, once you commit to freedom, you'll do it. You're like, I want to be free. I don't want to work the job anymore. I want to work from home and build a business and see the world and make home all over the world. I want that freedom more than anything and have fun. Or I want to do this from home to have the freedom to be around my kids and to take them to school and pick them up and to pick them up for lunch. And just when that's your reason why you do it, commit. When it's not, you don't, and you never make the transition. So blog for a serious hobby, keeping it light. Number 5, clock your blogging day. So employees work off of the clock. And as a blogger, it can be incredibly helpful to schedule tasks. So you're saying to yourself, if you've left your full-time job and you're like, I am all in, I have tons saved up, so I pay the bills, cover expenses, boom, boom, for years. No worries, calm, peaceful. Just dive in. 6, 8, maybe 10 hours a day, only doing effective, intelligent, fun, and then sometimes really uncomfortable in moments, but largely enjoyable tasks. And then you'll come up against fear from time to time, but just doing the stuff that pros teach you. And that's coming up next tip. If not, and you're a full-time employee, 45 minutes to an hour a night, 2 hours a night, 8 to 10. Schedule it, guys, because it gives you order in what may be a pretty hectic life. And it can be so challenging, but when it's scheduled, it's not as challenging because you do it. So life only seems challenging or busy because you don't value freedom. You value comfort and making decisions from fear. When you value freedom, which really ties into that reason why, then you schedule the time, night, weekend. Maybe it's the morning, depending on your family and job, whatever it is, schedule it out. And sure, you have to be flexible when life intervenes and you have great intensity with certain experiences. But when you're scheduling it out and you're being flexible, but you'll notice that these dramatic episodes won't be coming up that much and you'll basically find your groove. So boom, you have your blogging time. And this just helps you get the work in. It's why it's your job, depending on the shift, maybe not this day and age as much, but when I was a security guard, you punched in, you punched out. So you go to the time clock, punch in, go to the time clock, punch out. And I know I was at a shipping terminal 16 years ago, so I get it now. It's very different. And even if you don't punch in and punch out, you might have floating schedules, different shifts, but generally there's a shift. It's like you come to work now, right? So blogging is you come to work now, except it's very different than work. in that you're building a business. But it helps create order, which helps make the process more seamless. Number 6, learn only from professional bloggers. So if you want to become a professional blogger, learn only from them, and then you'll do what works from day one. You'll be confident because you're doing only what works. You'll trust the process because you're doing only what works. You'll trust yourself because you're doing only what works. You trust in a professional blogger because they're proof that it works. So you'll only do that. Never deviate from this. It's a really common mistake, guys. Never deviate. Only learn from professionals because they teach you how to leverage by sticking to the fundamentals for a long time. By that, I mean they went pro by following simple steps, patiently, genuinely, generously, trusting in themselves. By simple steps, publishing long-form targeted content, building strong relationships through outreach, monetizing their blog effectively. Now, there's a lot of details and steps in between, and this is why investing in a course is an excellent idea, or investing in ebook is an excellent idea, because they lay out all the detailed steps based on those fundamentals that you do have to take. So you invest in your blogging education, just like you pay a tuition. Invest in your education. You get all the best information laid out in the best formatting. You learn, you reference, you go through. Perfect. Only follow that advice. Follow nothing else. When you start following other advice, you're getting insights from bloggers who are mostly failing and struggling terribly. So when you follow their advice, you'll struggle terribly and fail. And you don't want to do that because then you'll stay in the job you don't want to stay in and you'll never go pro. Logically, this makes sense. Emotionally, in the beginning, if you're coming across this broadcast on Facebook or on YouTube, there are probably some strong conscious fears in your mind and some deep unconscious fears. Fear of poverty, fear of scarcity, or belief in scarcity, fear of criticism, fear of failure. Be vigilant, because when you start making decisions at the beginning of your blogging campaign from these fears, you'll follow advice from failing bloggers and fail. And it doesn't make any sense logically, but when you're afraid, you make foolish decisions. You make decisions that make zero sense. Like, why not go to the pro and invest money and follow their blog? Because you're afraid and you think, oh, if I'll go to these people, it's self-sabotage, and also feels really comfortable to surround yourself with bloggers who don't know what they're talking about because they know what you're going through. And that makes no sense. Don't buy it, guys. Don't believe in it. Only learn from professional bloggers, learn only from them. Invest money in their courses to accelerate your success, to lessen your nightmares. You can obliterate your nightmares or eliminate your nightmares. The problems only come up, guys, when you don't. You'll still face fear, but when you have these sustained problems, it's because you're not listening and trusting and learning only from pros. What they do works. When you do what works, you succeed too, slowly but surely. But you're like, yeah, this is how it goes. That's number 6. Where are we at? Number 7, solve reader problems through your blog post. Your success, meaning your quality traffic and blogging income, blogging business, originates in solving one reader specific problem, so you become a specialist. The world trusts specialists. They don't really trust generalists. So if you want to go from full-time employee to professional blogger, you specialize in one thing and solve one specific problem, which helps you drive quality traffic gradually. Of course, build a loyal following, but gradually the quality traffic will buy your stuff and hire you and grow your referral business and click on your ads, which leads to money increasing, which eventually leads to the full-time blogging career. You go pro, and then you could leave your job, or maybe you left it already, but you leave that way of life behind. This is about, when you're thinking solving reader problems, publishing highly targeted content that's long form in nature. So 1,200 to 1,500 words, maybe a little bit longer, detailed, in depth, thorough, helpful, which inspires readers to live their dreams, influences them to solve their problems, gives them step-by-step instruction. These type of posts take a while to master. They do. A lot of practice. This is work. But again, you're going to be around to do the work, right? Duh. Or you plan to be around. These posts potentially can rank on Google. That takes a while. But more than that, guys, when you just hit the mark, readers will appreciate it, come back to your blog, and this is when you enter that phase of you will begin to build a loyal blogging readership, high quality traffic, readers, followers, trusting people who really want what you have to offer. That's the beginning of building a thriving blogging business. Number 8, network generously. This just means engage in genuine blogger outreach. So find top bloggers in your niche. I have ebooks on being a networking machine, or in ebooks. You can check that out. bloggingparadise.com, go down to ebooks tab. Help them out by reading their posts and commenting genuinely on their blog post. Address them by name. Sign off with your name. Promote them on your blog. You know, these are bloggers from your niche, successful bloggers. Promote their posts on social media. Tag them to give them credit, drive traffic to their blog. When you do this routinely and you ask for nothing, expect nothing, and just relax, and you're publishing helpful content yourself, these bloggers will increasingly trust you because they see you're interested in them and helping them, not in using them. So don't ask for anything, expect anything. And as they trust you and these relationships solidify, these bloggers will gradually promote you, endorse you. They may buy your stuff, they may hire you, they may grow your referral business, and your quality traffic and blogging income increases. Guys, we're almost there. Wow, 1:30. Almost half hour in. Tip number 9, monetize through multiple income streams. Open multiple income channels. Notice how this is tip number 9. The money really comes through following the prior steps. Income streams are just ways through which you receive money through the trust that you earned with through your valuable content, thorough content, strong blogging friendships. I sell blogging courses and blogging ebooks. As a new blogger, you could slowly develop these courses and ebooks. Or if you're really hopping on your writing horse, you could write and sell ebooks because it's just writing something 8,000, 10,000, 15,000 words really detailed and in depth. So it's like fleshing out a long form post. You could do it. You can engage in affiliate marketing. You can place ads on your blog, although that's probably not the best for a new blogger or a blogger making this transition in the beginning because you need a high volume of high quality traffic and it takes a while to build that. But those are just a few ideas. You could coach, consult, freelance based on your talents, what you enjoy doing, what's helpful to your readers, and of course, what falls within your niche as far as being in your wheelhouse in that regard as well. So the monetizing is not a big deal, guys. It's the earning of the trust. Then however you monetize your blog, you'll make money. Over the long haul, though, it takes a while. This step takes a while. Number 10, how much attention and energy will it give to blogging the right way? This goes back to the commitment. So blogging the right way means blogging mainly for fun and freedom and love of helping people with that small getting driver of going pro, because it's that process which leads to going pro in the long haul and keeps you patient and calm and peaceful. Then publishing long form targeted content frequently. Try at least once a week, if not once every 2 weeks, and maybe you can bump it up to 2 times a week. Engaging in genuine blogger outreach, opening multiple income channels. Not saying you're doing each step every single day, but focusing on some aspect of one or all those steps daily. And like with opening income channels, you're not going to open up an income channel every night. You get it. Maybe one every 6 months, 2 to 3 every, and may stop after a while. But my thing is, guys, focusing on these fundamentals, 2 to 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. You do that, even if it's highly uncomfortable, your success will accelerate. So you're blogging the right way with the right mindset, right energy for an extended period of time. Even if it's uncomfortable, you'll do it because you want freedom more than you want to live in comfort and fear, right? You plan to be around, choose freedom. Don't choose fear. Choose discomfort, temporary discomfort for freedom. Put in the time. And if you're like, I can't do any more than a half hour to an hour a night, No problem. You'd be like, absolutely. You just, everything's, do that. And then on the weekends, give the time. If you find yourself saying, I have no time for it, that's not true. You value that, the life you're currently living, more than you value the fun and freedom. At least give yourself the respect to be honest with yourself. Okay? When you lie to yourself and you say, no, you'll only suffer. Not because the world's doing it to you, but because you're doing it to yourself. We self-sabotage, guys. We punish ourselves because we're not honest with ourselves. It's such a beautiful process when you just get into your mind and you'll be straight and you'll say, that's it. I've had it with this life where I'm running around like a headless chicken and everything seems so hectic and I feel just victimized. Golly, everything just seems like it's so sick of this. It's not that being a professional full-time blogger is the answer. It's just symbolically, it's a way to, in the world of symbols, to build a business to where you call the shots and you have that freedom and the peace of mind and the fun and the joy of being truly helpful. Not only is it worth it, it's what life's for. You see, most people, their mind is so asleep, and I'm not saying that in a nasty, insulting way or pejorative. Absolutely not. I'm saying that in a loving way because I care about you, because I'm telling you something truthful. That they would do everything they can in the world not to be free and live from love and be at peace and have fun helping people. Every excuse, not from, don't think of this from an accusatory perspective, but you'll see, guys, when you start being honest with yourself, you'll hear the chatter in your mind that just you've been trusting, and that's the egoic illusory chatter, which seems really real, coming from fear and poverty and scarcity. And you start saying, oh man, I've been trusting that voice and not the voice for fun and love and joy, which is your intuition, or call it the gut, or religious folks, maybe the Holy Spirit, or other, you could say not other, but enlightened beings, mind. So eventually you just say, how much attention, energy will I give to blogging the right way? You do it because you want the fun and the freedom and the joy and the expression. And then you'll find you'll make this transition. You will. You'll be putting it out there. You'll be all in. And it's really fun, guys. And it's a really freeing way to live. It's very enlightening. A lot of fears will come up along the way, but you'll be having fun and you'll realize this is the point. I finally figured it out. Not so much that it's blogging, but symbolically, it's a phenomenal way to leave behind fear, to face it, feel it, and forgive it, and to foster greater peace of mind and fun and freedom and joy, and to do the things in the world that feel fun. Guys, that's it for today. I'm about a half hour in and out. As a call to action, feel free to share this video if you benefited from it, and stop by bloggingfromparadise.com. For new bloggers, intermediate bloggers, and established pros, my courses and ebooks can be helpful for folks who just want that guide in one spot. So instead of trying to piece together all this other information, you invest the money. I sell them there, and they're only available, guys, through PayHip and Gumroad, but you'll find them only at bloggingfromparadise.com. I sell them through those digital storefronts. Nowhere else. It's not me. So buy everything through bloggingfromparadise.com, or I direct you to those digital storefronts. And again, it can be helpful to get your learning in one spot. Trying to piecemeal your education together, which gets really confusing from cross currents. This blogger says this blogger says that. How about I go to one blogger who has experience and invest money in a solution and follow it and stick to that guide, stick to that course, and reference it and re-reference. And it's something that my customers have told me in terms of feedback, and this is why I share it to you. They're like, Ryan, I enjoy your course because I reference it again when I need it. I enjoy your ebook. I reread it again when I need it. We need these anchors, guys, because you're coasting along, then you start making these egoic, fear-based mistakes. Done it myself. That's why I created the courses and the ebooks. And then we keep slamming into these same errors, and what naturally happens? Struggles, failure. And then a lot of cases, quitting. And then maybe after you quit, you come back to it. But when you have a guide that teaches you how to succeed and you keep going back to it, you don't make those egoic, fear-based forms of self-sabotage, the impatience, the laziness, the greed, delusion. All been there. When you have a guide that says, whoa, 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 come back to me. Let's get back on the straight and narrow. Let's get back on track. Then you'll succeed. And usually more quickly than everybody else, or at least you'll succeed. Whereas most bloggers struggle, fail, and quit and throw in the towel. They never learned from a pro. Think of this analogy as far as revisiting a course or an ebook. A rocket fails itself to its destination. Plane fails itself to its destination. But of course, it reaches the destination because it keeps correcting. Failure, correction, failure, correction. If there was endless failure, it'd go in the opposite. You never arrive, right? The blog, the courses, and the ebooks correct you. So you're going one way, then you start failing, you come back to the blog or come back to the course or the ebook. And I only offer this feedback because that's what my customers, people who buy my ebooks and buy my courses, what they've told me repeatedly. I love Ryan. I love your course, Ryan, or they've shared it on social media or through their blog. I love Ryan's courses because they're helpful and they guide me to succeed based on blogging fundamentals. They're invaluable to these people, they say, because they keep going back. So they're moving along, everything's okay, then things seem to slow down, they're failing a little bit, they're struggling, they're running into resistance. They go back to what works, boom, they start succeeding again. We just go through this process. So it's helpful to have a handy guide around to keep going back to, because we stray. Egoically, we don't have these ironclad, enlightened minds, we kind of go off, wander. Just get you right back on track so you accelerate your success, have the fun and freedom, and you're doing the right thing as far as blogging successfully. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Until next time, enjoy paradise all.